All right, and we're back. Gonna be doing the second third of this whole dungeon branch, which is still pretty easy. It's not too bad. It doesn't get obscenely difficult. We're gonna do that dungeon last, or next after this one. So this one is, I love this actually, hang on a second. If you do not know truth, do not enter. Well, didn't know I was gonna be tested on my Grand Theft Auto trivia, so... Alright. Remember how I said, hey, this looks familiar? What's this? It's Dragon Tree Leaf! If you smoke it, you get high. Not really, it's just an extra healing item. I don't ever use it. You can be like, but why? Well, I'll tell you a little something about me. You see this? This and this are gonna be gone. Endgame, and it's just this. And this is cheaper than this. Makes sense? I hope so. So, I'm gonna be selling those for so I can buy more dragon tree stones or fruit, whatever, fucking dragon crystals. I know what it's called. So, anyways, remember how I was also like, hey, this seems like the Kingsfield, America. This area right here, we actually can't get the item in here just yet until end game. So you're probably like, oh fuck, how many of those areas are there in the game? There's actually only 3, so it's not that big of a deal. This Ent will also respawn too. Actually, what are these called? No. Meatwad, stop. Reaper. Jack the Ripper. There's a man on a horse on top of my chest. I don't know why people say that's a good song. I don't get it. It just sounds like every other... I am the man. Love that song. If you don't know what I'm singing, fuck you. You're just uncultured. You're more uncultured than me, and I don't leave the house. So, yeah, remember that for later. Those are sometimes referred to as dragon doors. Those are end game. You can call them Seath doors, whatever you want to call it. I might call them that later. Some people call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade. Alright, so you see this jackass over here? Look at his fancy fucking hands. I don't like him. Use the truth mirror. I have no interest in exterminating monsters for the king's bounty, and I do not intend to help you, but I will teach you magic in exchange for this mirror of truth. Boom! He gives you the wink and tells you to get the fuck out. So he gives you, I believe, healing, yeah. I think because of my magic level, I've already unlocked Dispoison. Those are absolutely useless. I hate to tell you. So, yeah, but we also need to pick up that. That's the Water Stone. That is 120% a required item. You absolutely need to pick that up. It's not used till the next level, but we do need it. I'll kill this guy. Why not? I got the magic. Okay, so you don't really need to get rid of the truth glass, but you do need to get the, like, that key. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to finish the game. I will say this. This game is a lot more forgiving than other Kingsfield games, especially when it comes to, like, you know, hidden areas. Some areas in Kingsfield 2 were just fucking insane. I'm not talking about the the Japanese one. I mean Kingsfield 2 America. There was some shit in that game, if I remember correctly. It was just nasty. Nasty! Okay. This dungeon's not big. But you'll also notice Seth bought a bunch of herbs, so I don't need to actually heal or buy herbs for, like, essentially the end of the game. I don't need to buy anything for a long fucking time. I would probably, and I mean, this is a safe assumption, you probably don't even need to buy any items in this game other than the cross. Well, fucking pick it up. God damn it. Thank you. I don't want that to happen on an item I actually need. Oh, it's gonna be agony at one point if it keeps doing this. It's not a big deal. Well, it is, but still. But yeah, later Kingsfield games, like, they have hidden walls in these kinds of caves, and that's just fucking mean. I don't like that. That's not fun. Just gonna say it. Alright, so we've done that dungeon. And now we can go into this one. So go ahead and use the dungeon key. Blammo! Alright, start off in the left, because we need to go here first. This is also... Can you guess? Can you take a guess? Yeah, it's required. If you don't do this part of the dungeon, you can't finish the game. That's all there is to it. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. So, this part's not that hard, but it's definitely one of those things where if you didn't know this, you're gonna be really fucking salty. But then again, that's just like every Kingsfield game ever. Isn't there an item in here? I want to say there's an illusory wall. Oh no, here's fucking Seth's illusory wall talk again. I'm not going to use phantom rods except in one part of the game, just to make it a little bit easier for me to navigate, because it's actually really fucking annoying. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That's all there is to it. So, I haven't even mentioned this yet, but head eaters are actually weak to slash. They have the most common RuneScape type of damage possible. No, I'm just kidding. But no, this is why I said it may seem like the game starts off rocky, and it kind of does. I'm not going to sit here and say this game has, like, perfect pacing, but it's definitely... It gets going, you know? I think that's the only, like, saving grace I can always tell people about Kingsfield is give it, like, 2 hours. In a 12-hour plus game, 2 hours, unless the game is objectively really shitty, is a pretty good judge of if you actually like the game or not. And, well, I'm obviously playing the game for my third time in the week, or about 2 weeks, so obviously I liked it, but I'm also really fucking weird, so don't try to, you know, expect me to have the most unbiased opinion, right? But I really do find these kinds of games fascinating. So this, oh no, these big strong men. I want to use magic so goddamn bad to make this faster, but I can't. I think there's one like right behind me probably. Oh, it's a Skeleman. I lied. All right. Whoa. But no, this part is 100% required. You absolutely need to do this. Otherwise, you actually will not be able to finish the game. Well, you know what? I actually think you could probably finish the game without it. But that doesn't mean you should do it. I should preface this right now. That does not mean it's a safe or smart idea. It'll probably take longer, but we'll get to it when we get there. I think there's an item in the back of here. I don't think there's any illusory walls in this section. It's the next one at the end. Yeah, I think that's it for this area. At least this branch. There's only 3 branches in this whole dungeon partition, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so now we can talk to the fairy people.
I have waited for you. Deep in the darkness, the king's power grows. Our strength will not hold for long. Please, come to us quickly.
I didn't know I was going to have an acid trip. Not really. And then we get the green phantom rod. So what this does is it's a really cool pimp cane, and it also lets you teleport to the dungeon entrance. And you're probably like, huh? Isn't that like the gate system in Kingsfield, America? You're damn right. Where you think they got the idea from? So that's pretty much this game's teleport item. You don't need magic to use it, so you can feel free to use it at your own leisure. I use it to pretty much get to the shops quicker at the end of the game, and that's about it. And we'll probably use it on this floor just to demonstrate it as well. I just want to use magic. It's so... That's the thing is, I want to use range damage so bad. Because it's a first-person game, but it's also because it's more convenient. Ah, Seth knows his shit. I think this is the... what is this? Yeah, there we go. The dragon tree. So this area in particular is designed so that way when you enter the dungeon partition that has the NPC that goes, I need that, you at least have an idea that there's more than one, and that's why they do this in the beginning. They are kind of like a reward in some parts of the game, but like, I do hate that about this. There's one... Excuse me. Fucking rude. Anyways, there is one complaint I have about this game. It is that you actually essentially need to spend almost 1.8 grand every time you want to refill your magic outside of the fountain. And that is kind of shitty. I ain't gonna say that's good design, because in a game where it's like, you should use magic, using magic is expensive. So they obviously wisened the fuck up, and in Kingsfield America and later games, they had moonstones replenish magic, and they were infinitely buyable. I think that's another huge, like, plus. Oh, that's right, this needs a button. So I'm gonna go to the right here, or left first. So why... This is a fun one. If you accidentally go in one of the directions, do you remember that room we were in that I was like, oh, it needs that one key? That's where it takes you to. So every floor also has 2 to 3 shortcuts in it that will loop around the level. That way you, number one, can get some sense of bearing, and number two, to access other areas quicker. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't fucking wombo me, wow. These guys literally look like a shit texture. I'm not trying to be funny, they actually look like someone just modeled a shit texture onto like a golem. Like, it looks like something out of Postal 2. It's fucking terrible. But it's fun. I love it. So this is just extra loot is what we're picking up at this point. I think there's another... Is it armor in this room? Oh no, it's just loot, that's right. So... yeah, I don't really ever use those leaves, because they're just... Here's the thing. Here's the other practical point I'm trying to make here, okay? What would you rather have? Just a lot of health? Or a lot of health and full magic? And a respawn anchor if you do somehow get killed because you're an idiot, like me. I don't know, man. The answer seems pretty clear to me. I want more health. And my magic back. So, yeah, look at that shit. We're starting to whittle these assholes down pretty quick. That's why I do love it. See? And guess what? Another fruit. So, this is why I said the game does actually, like, wrap you around to make sure you don't dead game yourself. Because I imagine if you're first time playing, you're like, oh, what are these things? And then you're probably going to assess them. Like, when I first played it, I actually knew what it was, because I was like, oh, that must be the dragon crystal. That's what that is. That's dragon's blood, that is. Sorry, that's unicorn blood, that is. And I just didn't touch it, because I knew I was like, alright, they'll probably either be a key, or they're going to be, you know, useful or something like that, like they're a loot item. But obviously I had the right idea not touching it until way later when I needed it. And I think that was the right play. Did I go here? There's nothing over here, I remember this. There's something in this room and I don't remember what the fuck it is. It's the last part of the branch, too. Oh, that's right, it goes over here. Yeah! Told ya! Seth knows what's going on. Oh, it's blood. I thought it was Verdite. It's fucking lame. Well, that's kind of lame. So we'll use the Phantom Rod. And then we're going to activate this. And then we're going to go buy some more... What the fuck was that all about? Okay. Actually, we'll just use it again. You can sort of see why this is actually an effective way of moving. Because it's a lot faster, number one. Number two... it makes a really cool noise. So I kind of pissed out a little bit of my magic by not using all of it effectively, but that's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and buy more dragon stones. I'm just going to call them dragon stones or dragon crystal. I can't help it. Oh, I should probably activate him. That might help too. welcome to my shop. Short sword, bastard sword, morning star gauntlets, iron boots, bloodstones. Look at that shit. Leaves. Get my. I don't fucking need pot to be happy. Okay. And actually, I don't need these, so get that out of my inventory. And yeah, we've already essentially sort of trivialized shit a bit. So no, let's go ahead and do the next purchase. So we have 4. So we'll buy 93. Can I buy 93? Good enough. 98. So now we've officially trivialized our healing for the whole game. This is for the early game, this is for the end game. You starting to see why I said money doesn't really matter. Alright. And that's probably going to cover it for healing for the rest of the game. And doesn't he sell the... Oh, I'm thinking of the other merchant. He sells the Great Helm. It's a pretty great value. We'll buy 2 of these, why not? Blammo. So, yeah. You could probably be like, Seth, that's really cheesy, but you know what? The game lets you do it. That's what I love it. Trust the fact that you're bold enough to do something this stupid. And I'm like, you know what? I love that. Other Kingsfield games let you do it too. You could sell the Idol of Sorrow in 5 seconds. The fucking key endgame item, like that you need to finish the game to get the actual proper ending. You can sell that within 5 minutes of the first fucking like area in Kingsfield 4. I love that. That is something just so wholesome. So yeah, we've officially gotten health, all that shit, not a problem no more. And I guess I'll set myself up for the next video. So, the game's broken now. I love it. It's how I'd love it any other way. It's just broken, bent backwards and broken. Okay. So yeah, we'll do the crypt next. See you in the next one. Doo, doo, doo.